Some people all out here, willy-nilly, living life, loving light, rainbows and butterflies. Ain't got no boundary. Just people pleasing. Just getting used and abused. Today we are talking about the art of creating boundaries. Come here. Come here. Come. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Come here. Get. I love you. Just know that I love you. And when I'm telling you this stuff, I'm telling you this because boundaries are so important. Boundaries protect your energy. They honor who you have become and are becoming. Boundaries teach people how to treat us. When you lack boundaries, people will do what you allow them to do in your space. And then at the end of the day, when something happens, you can't blame anyone but yourself because you didn't set boundaries. Last week, we talked about the art of detachment, releasing burdens, letting go of energetic attachments, loosening our grip on things we were carrying. But something interesting happens every time you release weight. Every time you detach from something, there is a space that is created. And the moment that space appears, life will test whether you are ready to protect it. Sometimes the reason something feels uncomfortable now is not because the situation changed. It's because you did. You've grown. Your awareness has shifted. Your peace has become more important now. Your energy has become more sensitive. And suddenly, conversations that once felt normal, they feel draining. Environments that once felt familiar, they feel chaotic. And it's not judgment. It's simply alignment. Because when your frequency changes, you can't keep matching every energy around you. A lot of times, old patterns return, old conversations will reappear, old dynamics will try to pull you back in, old friendships, just past people from past versions of yourself, right? Detachment clears the space, but boundaries protect your space. Boundaries protect your peace. Boundaries protect the space that you have created. You know, there's a lot of people that think that boundaries are about controlling other people. In a way, it is. It's kind of controlling other people, but in a way where it's not in a negative way. It, like I mentioned before, is literally just about teaching people how to treat you. Boundaries are all about honoring who you've become. It's an energetic statement that says, this is where my peace lives now. They're not punishment, they're alignment. They are in alignment with who you are in the present moment. When your frequency shifts, everything that operates in an old frequency will begin to feel uncomfortable. That includes certain conversations, certain environments, certain beliefs, certain relationships and connections. That discomfort, it's not judgment. It's simply awareness. You're simply no longer a match for what you used to tolerate. That's the word, tolerate. So as we grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, our frequency changes. It will always change, right? And when your frequency changes, you begin to notice things differently. And sometimes the truth is simple. You just don't match that energy anymore. And it's okay. It's okay. Boundaries, they're not about proving someone wrong. They're just simply recognizing that I no longer match that frequency. And that's it. That's it and that's all. You don't have to argue about it. You don't have to explain it to everybody. It's just sometimes growth simply means I no longer participate. It's all about respect. And then, once people respect that and understand that, then it is what it is. And if they don't, who cares? It's your life. It's your life to live. Who cares? I don't care. You shouldn't care. You ain't got to explain it to everybody. They ain't nobody business what you got going on in your life. I'm just saying, don't participate in the bullshit. It's okay. Do you. Set boundaries. Set clear boundaries, right? We're going to get into that a little later. Boundaries are about protecting your mind. So check this out. Your mind is where the energy begins, right? So boundaries often start with what you allow yourself to entertain mentally, okay? So that can look like not engaging in gossip, not feeding negative conversations, not replaying situations that disturb your peace. That's a big one. Energy flows where attention goes. So protecting your mind is protecting your frequency. There's a scripture, Philippians 4:8. It encourages you to focus on what is true, noble, and good. That is literally a mental boundary. Because if you focus on what is true, noble, and good, you will automatically detach yourself from negative conversations, negative situations, negative talk, even negative self-talk. That is a mental boundary. You have to set boundaries that protect your body. Your body is deeply connected to your energetic state. So sometimes your body will tell you when something isn't aligned before your mind does. Like it's like when you feel tension in your stomach, that weird, when they say, "Oh, I got bubble guts." When you're in a weird space or place around certain people, or you just know you ain't supposed to be there and you get bubble guts. That's how you know, bro. That's how you know when you get bubble guts. When you get, or you feel a weird feeling in your chest or even in your throat. You just get this weird vibe, right? Something is off. Or emotional exhaustion. Like you could be on 10 when you first walk in there. And then once you get in there, the vibe is just so yucky to the point where you just be like yawning and I'm tired. I think I'm ready to go home. Like that's how you know it's off. Something is off, right? Those are all signals. Your nervous system is saying, this environment does not feel safe for me anymore. This environment is not the vibe. And sometimes the boundary, when you get a vibe like that, when you go to a place, sometimes the boundary is simply leaving earlier. Sometimes it's saying no. Now let's talk about boundaries and how boundaries protect your spirit. When your spiritual awareness begins to grow, your discernment has a tendency to grow too. So spiritually, boundaries help protect the direction your life is moving in, right? You begin to notice where your peace is disturbed. You begin to notice where your energy feels scattered and where your spirit begins to feel heavy, right? Those conversations that disturb your peace, those interactions that make you feel like heavy or scattered or down. You begin to notice those things, and those boundaries allow you to take a step back from those spaces, not with anger, but with clarity, right? You are honoring the version of yourself that God is shaping. And that version cannot thrive in every environment. And you have to begin to have that understanding. When you begin to understand that your frequency cannot dwell in every environment, in every situation around certain people, then you will understand that, okay, the version that I am now has to take a step back, and there's a boundary that has to be created. One thing to remember, your boundaries don't have to be harsh, right? You're not putting up a wall. Because I'm guilty of that. I have a tendency to do that, right? Because when I do something, I do it, right? I go hard in the paint with it. Like I just, boundaries. When I begin to realize and notice who was for me and who wasn't for me, the environments that helped me to thrive as opposed to the environments that tore me down, the conversations that I was having with certain people and how they would affect me whenever I would hang up the phone, how I felt during the time we were conversing and things like that. I began to set up the hardest boundaries ever. My cutoff game was crucial. And to a degree, it still kind of is now. I have to be very careful because I will cut a person off in such a harsh way to the degree that they will feel like she hates me. Or I will back away from certain people and certain spaces so harshly in a way where it will come off as like, did I do something wrong or did I do something to her or whatever it may be? But it's just know, I have to always go back and apologize. Look, I apologize, but it's this, and I'll say what it is. And then it's, we just recalibrate, right? I always have to do that. So choosing, like, for example, choosing not to engage in certain conversations. That's an example, right? Spending less time in environments that drain you. Limiting access to your emotional space is a big one, right? And, you can still love people and still create some level of distance, okay? You can wish someone well and still not participate in their patterns. Boundaries are not rejection. They are wisdom. And even, like I said, I was guilty for that. And even to some degree still, I still have to check myself because I don't know if it's because, I think it's because I'm an introvert. I can be in spaces where I need to be an extrovert, I will. But for the most part, I am an introvert. And I love to be alone. So if something it feels off to me, and I feel I have to create a boundary around an environment or a person, people, space, around whatever it may be, it can come off really harsh because I don't have a problem with cutting people, places, and things off because I like to be alone. It's and when we begin to understand that about people, because I've had it done to me. I've been really good friends with an introverted person before. And when that person had gotten to the point where it was just like, I don't, when we talk, I feel like this, that person cut me off completely. And I was in my feelings about it until we had a conversation and then there was clarity around the situation. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I completely understand now, And it's crazy because I do the same exact thing. So we just have to be careful and just know people, right? Once you get to know and understand a person, then you'll understand, okay, well, yeah, it's, I always say charge it to my head, not my heart, right? Because my heart is a ball of mush. And I love people. And I love people to the degree where it's a detriment to myself. So I have to have boundaries. And sometimes my boundaries can come off very harshly. Let's talk about honoring who you've become, right? Growth has a tendency to change your capacity. Things that once felt normal, they now feel heavy. And that's okay. It really is okay because the goal of spiritual growth is not to stay the same. It's to evolve. So sometimes boundaries are simply acknowledging, I have grown. I've grown. I've grown. I've grown mind, body, and spirit. And the life that I am building now requires a different level of care. You're not abandoning people. You're honoring the direction that your life is moving. You can always tell who those people are that truly honor your growth and respect who you are deeply at the core of who you are, because those people will evolve and shape with you. They will understand. Like, I have one friend, we don't talk often, right? We're not one of those people where we call up one another every day or on a weekly basis or things like that. But I love her so deeply, and she loves me so deeply. And I know, I feel the love. We feel the love from one another when we do talk and when we do catch up and when we do interact with one another. Keon, I love you, Key. And I love her to pieces. She was with me for forever. I used to do her hair a long time ago. And we've been through so many phases of life together, to the point where when we do reconnect and we talk, because the last time, she doesn't live here, but the last time she came to town, she stopped by and we had the longest conversation, just catching up and doing, just hanging out. Like, I love people like that. And it's not just her. I have many other friends like that. I have a childhood friend who I grew up with. It's the same thing with she and I. Like, I love those people that honor and respect the person that you are and the person that you're becoming and the person that you are evolving into, and they honor that, and they love you regardless of where you are. They love you regardless of how big you get, how, if you blow up one day, or if you just living your, you're just little old life, and you call and just catch up and do all this stuff. I love people who are so mature in that way. They don't constantly think it's a competition and things like that. That's where boundaries come in, because not everybody will feel that way towards you. I watched a video this morning about destiny swapping and how people will gravitate towards others who look like they have it together and on a path of success and being recognized, and because they began to envy a person's aura and their energy and how the influence that they have in their life, and they want that. They are so envious of that they will begin to mimic and watch the patterns and do all this stuff. They get into that copycat energy, and you have to be so mindful of that. So when you connect with people who have a genuine energy with them, oh, that's the people. I will never let you go. I will never let you go. I love you to pieces. I love you. Because those connections, they are so beautiful and they're magical. And that's how you know. Right? All right. So here are our reflection questions of the week. Numero uno. Where in my life do I feel energetically drained? What environments no longer feel aligned with who I'm becoming? And what boundary might help protect my peace right now? I just want you to come up with one boundary. Please share it with me. Put it in the comment section. I want to know, what boundary can you create right now that will help protect your peace at this moment? And I want you to take it and I want you to execute it. And let me know. Because boundaries, they're not walls. Boundaries are simply wisdom. As the birds chirp right outside my window. Boundaries are wisdom. They are quiet decisions that protect the life that you are growing into. You don't have to match every frequency. You don't have to participate in every space. Honor who you've become. Protect your energy and let your mind, body, and spirit continue to grow in peace. I love you guys, and I pray that you guys have a blessed and productive whatever time of day you're watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and reflect on those questions. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from y'all. I love y'all so much, and have a blessed one.
I've been searching, gotta find a peace. Feeling like I'm diving in the ocean. Feeling like I'm going through the motion, coming in doses. This is celebration. How you take it, see the struggle worth the greatness.